I'm a lawyer, so my expertise is in sort of structuring conversations and making sure that the discussions are meaningful and they get to the truth. So somebody in my Discord channel has suggested that I might be a valuable addition to a debate that Dave Farina had a few months ago with James Tour, who is a chemist that doesn't think that the origin of life is possible. And I'm wondering whether or not that would be something you guys are interested in. So I'm doing this little sort of short video as kind of a test balloon to see whether or not there is interest in doing more of a long form review, and hopefully maybe even Dave Farina will see this and we could do it together. Let's get into it.
Mr. Anderson.
Hi, my name is Mr. Anderson, and I am mean to people on the internet. I'm always very polite about it, though. I just tend to ask difficult questions and insist on the answers. As I said, that's probably not a big surprise, since I'm a lawyer. My channel focuses a lot on debate. You'll find a lot of breakdowns of technique, reviews of other people's debates, and I post a bunch of my own debates on here as well, so that you can see that the things that I'm telling you really work against resisting opponents. Today we're going to be reviewing this debate between James Tour and Dave Farina, and we're going to kind of jump in pretty near the beginning, just after the openings are completed, where James Tour throws Dave a curveball right out of the gate by asking him to do a whole bunch of chemistry live and in person on his feet right at the board. Here's what happens.
We now turn to Dr. Tour, who will ask a question.
One of the things that we have to make in order to have life are polypeptides, where we take amino acids, and these amino acids have to couple. And when they couple, it will form a dipeptide. This dipeptide is one of thousands and thousands and thousands that would have to form. If you were going to make a polypeptide, you need at least 100 of these for a very small polypeptide. Mr. Farina, show me the prebiotic chemistry that would do this coupling. Be my guest.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need the board.
So that's the curveball. Now let's see how Dave responds.
So this was my second prompt, so I guess we'll circle back to this. But yeah, you keep going. Show me the references in your content. But so you're missing a mountain of research, literally a mountain of research that demonstrates this. So here's one: condensation of amino acids to form peptides in aqueous solution. So we've got sulfur 4 oxidative model, carbonyl sulfide mediated prebiotic formation of peptides. There's another one.
That does not do it, and the two you showed do not do it. This is called asparagine. DK. They do not do it with these.
Okay, so what is Lehman's a fraud? Gadiri's a fraud? Are you calling them fraud? They published a paper, carbonyl sulfide mediated prebiotic formation of peptides. So if you're saying they didn't do that,
show me the example in there. I studied this. I looked over every paper you put up.
You have never studied anything in this area. Are you kidding me? All you do is go, show me the papers, and then I show you papers. Here, let's see if I can find that one exactly.
Here, show me the one exactly that does this in a prebiotic fashion. Show me. It's not there. Okay. I'm asking you to come up and show me the chemistry.
James, I don't need to write on the board. I brought actual papers. This is actual research.
Okay, show me the paper. Show me in that paper this example. Okay, this is called.
This is the one you wanted.
Aspartic acid.
James.
This is called lysine.
James, look. This is the Gadiri paper. Here's the scheme. You want to go through that?
But
aqueous room temperature, you get oligopeptides. Okay, and it jumps to 80% yield with prebiotic oxidizing agents.
But not with this, because what happens is this would participate. This would participate.
You want to do the side chain thing? Okay, well we got research for that too.
Of course, I'm speaking to the side chain. This is not glycine. That's not prebiotically relevant. But that has nothing to do with prebiotic.
Okay,
that
how about this one?
That sulfur compound was made separately in dichloromethane using HOBT, which is a coupling agent designed by human beings for solid phase synthesis. That's how they made
Are you saying sulfur is not available prebiotically? It doesn't matter what solvent they use.
No, HOBT was the compound, that SH compound that you just showed was made in a separate reaction. That was in a separate reaction, and he describes that.
Okay.
I can show you in the paper.
Thank you. If you don't like that one, how about this Pounder one? Pounder jacks regioselective peptide formation. Acylated aminonitrile.
Right.
Wait, hold on. I got the scheme here.
It's not in there. You're going to look and look. It's not in there. I studied every one of your papers. Pounder doesn't even use amino acids. He uses an aminonitrile.
Aminonitrile. That's a totally different paper.
Acid.
James, that's not the same paper. You're
No,
talking about a different
there
paper.
is no coupling.
Look, he got coupling with lysine. Regioselective lysine ligation. The most selective peptide ligation that tolerates all proteinogenic side chains.
But
he did this
does not
with
do
all side
an
chains.
amino acid
What
coupling.
are you talking about? Prebiotic catalytic peptide ligation.
There's no amino acids there.
Yes, it's amino acids.
Okay, so
What are you
go to
talking
the
about?
equation of
Well,
that.
I don't,
Go to the equation of
I don't
that.
have that one, but you're just lying.
So Dave's obviously caught flat-footed here. This is not what he expected to happen, and it's not something that he has specifically prepared, which is completely fair. And you can see too how, by trying to sort of respond and saying, how about this and how about that, it's really allowing Tour to sort of drive the conversation and kind of pick nits and sort of lord his PhD over Dave, because Dave's frantically flipping through papers. And I mean, he's got a good knowledge of them, obviously, but not an encyclopedic knowledge. And Tour doesn't need encyclopedic knowledge because he only has to remember the parts that he wants to pick out, and Dave's having to try and remember the entire thing. And so, and so he kind of looks a little bit off balance here, which is not where he wants to be. And if I were in this situation, I can tell you right now that I certainly wouldn't be able to do the chemistry. Dave might be able to, but here, what I would do if this happened is that I would start by slowing things down and trying to get some clarity as to what it is that James Tour has asked of me and what he expects me to do in this situation. And that's going to do a couple of things. First, it's going to give me time to think. And second, it's going to give me time to kind of understand what's going on and how I'm going to react to it, how I'm going to address it. So let's kind of back this up now, and I'll show you how I would handle this kind of a situation.
Mr. Farina, show me the prebiotic chemistry that would do this coupling. Be my guest.
Okay.
So Dr. Tour, you've just put this this chemistry formula on the board, and it has to do with origin of life. Is that correct? He would
Of course.
say yes, and I would go on and I would say, and to your knowledge, I'm assuming there is not an answer to this equation. Is that right?
You're going to look and look. It's not in there. I studied every one of your papers. Pounder doesn't even use amino acids.
And you further understand or believe that there is no possible answer to this equation, right? Yeah.
It's not in there.
Okay, so you've put a problem on the board that, to your knowledge, to this point, is unsolved and may be unsolvable.
That does not do it, and the two you showed do not do it. This is called
James.
asparagine. DK. They do not do it with these.
Okay, so what is...
And origin of life researchers are working on problems like this right now, right?
The two you showed do not do it.
I know the two I showed didn't do it. I'm talking about whether or not things like this have been done. Similar things. You said there were thousands that were needed, right? Many of them have been done, haven't they?
Yeah, show me the one exactly that does this in a prebiotic fashion.
You want me to do new origin of life research on a chalkboard for everybody right now. And if I can't do that for you, if I can't create new knowledge at the drop of a hat on command, then we are clueless about origin of life research, about the chemistry of what could lead to living things. Is that what you're telling us?
Show us. Right here.
I
Here.
just showed you.
Do it. You got hundreds of examples. Show us. You won't come up.
What do
you
you
won't
want
do
me
it.
to draw on the
You won't do
board,
it.
James?
Okay, so you'd agree with me that origin of life researchers have solved problems like this, maybe not this exact one, but similar ones, lots of times. And there's lots of problems like this to solve, right? And then if he says no, then you would go to exactly where Dave sort of started and say, well, here's a paper that shows, this is a very similar problem, and here it is solved, and here's a very similar problem, and here it is solved, and here's a very similar problem, and here it is solved. So even if I can't solve this for you today, and I might be able to, but I think it would be really boring. But my question is, even if I could not solve this for you today, you'd agree with me that that wouldn't mean that origin of life researchers couldn't solve it, and that we are therefore clueless about origin of life researchers or origin of life research. Isn't that true?
It's not there. Nobody has ever done this prebiotically. You're going to be looking through your papers a long time. It's never been done. Without an enzyme, it has never been done.
You are completely clueless.
It's
this
over.
Has been done.
It's over. You can't make RNA. There's no life.
So you've tried to give me a question that nobody has solved yet, and if I can't solve it for you today at this moment, then, or nobody could solve it. Well, I can tell you that as good at chemistry as I am, I'm not prepared to sit here. I mean, it would probably take me, if I could solve it on my own, without help, probably take me a couple of hours. So your idea for this debate is to watch me figure out a chem problem for a couple of hours. At best. That's your idea.
Paper?
Mr. Farina! Here!
What do you want?
Go! You don't do it! You just talk.
Why
Show
would
me
I
the chemistry.
Why would I try to draw
I told you I would speak
structures?
to you as I would speak to any graduate student.
We're not doing that. This is not a watch Dave solve chemistry problems show. This is a debate. So you know what? Send it to me and I'll figure it out later. And you know what? Maybe it's even been solved, right? If this is the hill that you want to die on, send it to me and I'll see whether me and my buddies can solve it. And then we can have a debate about that. But I think this is a kind of a side issue because this is one problem amongst many. I mean, if we're solving, this isn't the big problem. This isn't the gotcha that you think it is. This is one small, weird, unique problem that you picked out of many, some of which have been solved and some of which haven't. And you presented it to me today. If your point is that there are no, I'm not saying that there are no unsolved problems in origin of life research. I'm saying that there are some solved problems. And I put it to you that given these papers that I've just shown you, that there are some solved problems. Isn't that true? And then I would insist on that answer. And so you can see, what I've done here, I didn't have all of that kind of made up before I started this video. I had a kind of an idea that, I'm just going to start clarifying this question and sort of stall for time until I figure out what's going on. And then, the rest of that kind of comes out as you sort of think about it and you start to try and understand the problem. And you go, okay, well, what are you trying to do here? What's going on? And as that sort of falls into place, and you're analyzing what he's doing and he's rocked back on his heels, you kind of make a lot more headway in the larger conversation, and you bring it back to the larger conversation, and you don't lose the audience, which very quickly happens in this debate because they start talking about peptides, side chains, and I don't understand any of that stuff. I don't know about you guys, but they lost me right there, right off the bat. So, I'd suggest maybe this is a better way of going about that. At any rate, guys, I still think that there's a lot of good that was done in this debate. I think there's a lot of things that Professor Dave did well, and that there was a lot that he could build off and that he could do better. I think that his opening was fairly strong and that it probably would have been a good roadmap to sort of go off of. I mean, he makes a bunch of assertions in that opening, and if you're interested, let me know in the comments, and we can do a longer analysis and we could talk about how to turn a bunch of the stuff in that opening into a framework for the larger discussion, and how we could approach some of the other Googles, those curveballs that James Tour, Dr. Tour throws at Dave Farina. But until then, this has been Mr. Anderson, and I hope you guys have a good day. Talk to you later.